Hey, so we did it. It's the end of day 5 and we broke our fast. We're feeling pretty good. It's such a cool accomplishment to get through all 5 days. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Nagel. He has some things to talk about on day 5.
Okay, so, I talked about reseeding the gut because there's all the benefits of fasting, right? So you have stem cells, you have human growth hormone, you reset all your hormones. It actually it resets the microbiome, and so it's really important that when you do all this work that you reseed the gut. So I'm going to show you how we reseeded the gut, and worked a full day, and we didn't. My last meal was at 9 o'clock on Saturday, so I cheated a little bit, maybe 3 hours, but I don't care. So, and anyway, my ketones were, had another hard day, and my ketones were in that cancer burning. So if you're new to this,
you did a lot better today.
Yeah, so my ketones really went up. I had a friend of mine, actually, he's watching right now, Colby. We tested his ketones, so he did it just pretty green. I gave him some pointers, but his ketones were through the roof. Just awesome, and he's never, he's just new to all this.
He went into it not knowing what to expect, and he did.
He's only on day 4.
Yep.
So so he's like just a couple points away from that 1-to-1 ratio. So his ketones were better than mine. I mean, I play hockey with Colby, and he's in great shape, and he's his body obviously responded to the dietary change, which is a non-diet, I guess. So
I was pretty excited. I woke up this morning and my numbers were, my ketones were my glucose was 65 and where is it? Which one is it?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.5.
Oh, there it is. So my glucose was 57 and my ketones were 5.7 or 6.5. Oh my goodness, I can't even get these numbers out. So 6.5 is really high, and I was really excited about that.
So I woke up, I actually had a little bit of a stressful dream for some reason, and whenever I have that, it boosts my blood sugar. So that was that cortisol that I was talking about. So I knew that was going to be a little higher, and it was at 69 and then 3.1. So 69 is blood sugar, 3.1 ketones. And then today at work, though, in the afternoon, I can't remember, my blood was in the 60s, low 60s, and my ketones were like 4.8, I think. Mm-hmm. So I wrote it down and I put it on a little note, but that got lost. So anyway, those up at the level where you're burning up cancer, so to speak. So it's time to reseed. So this is how we chose to reseed. We did a little kimchi.
Kimchi, yep.
So it's fermented vegetables. Great way. There's bacteria in there. Great way to reseed your gut. Some good culture.
And we mixed those two together, and it sounds really weird, but
it reads backwards. But anyway, it's good culture cottage cheese.
And it's really good.
Avocado.
Mm-hmm. We're sipping on some bone broth.
We get this bone broth. Actually, we get a lot of our stuff from. Did you get this from Thrive?
Thrive Market. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thrive Market, which is an amazing online store. It's actually affordable. You can get tons of organic stuff. Really little niche type. We have like coconut flour wraps. I did a Nibble on that. They just have a lot of really cool stuff that's healthy.
And they deliver to your house.
And it's legit too. The owners check everything. So a lot of times in Whole Foods and some of these other big chain health food stores, they let some trash in where they'll say they have their, a certain, non-GMO, and then they test it and they have GMO and stuff like that, where Thrive is really good about checking out their vendors. So blueberries. Mm-hmm. And raspberries, and I can eat a ton. I don't eat a lot, but I can eat a ton, and
we got full.
Mm-hmm. Really quick. So, what do you do from here on? So, block fasting is a once in a while thing. It just depends on the strategy. Just depends on what your goal is. So, there's huge healing benefits for staying in ketosis long term.
I'm gonna flip it around to you.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
So there's huge benefits to staying in ketosis long term. So how do you do that? Well, 50 grams a day is 50 grams of carbohydrates a day. If you stay below that, that works. That's kind of the middle of the road. Some people, if they're really in heavy sugar burning pathways, and by the way, the only way you know this is you test your blood. So if they're in really heavy sugar burning pathways, they have to get as low as like 20 per day. And then some people can get away with eating 80 per day. But you can still maintain those health benefits by keeping those carbs low. And then protein, a lot of people, oh yeah, it's like Atkins diet. No, it's not like Atkins diet. Atkins diet is basically unlimited protein. I talked before about if you have more than half your lean body weight. So right now I'm about as lean as I can be. I'm at probably 168. I usually run around 173. So if you take that and you chop that in half, which is what, 85 grams of protein, that's about what you want to be. If you're a little more active, you can add, 15, 20 grams of protein, 25% anyway. So that's where you want to be at protein, and then the rest you want to do it with fat. The other thing I want to point out is so what's your goal, right? Is it just to be healthy, or are you at the weight you want to be? Do you want to lose weight? So a lot of people go into ketosis and they're eating fat all day. I've talked about this in other health nibbles, and they can't lose weight. It's because, for one, they don't have caloric restriction, and two, they're not intermittent fasting. So they're staying in ketosis, but they're basically eating fat all day. So here's the other trick. To intermittent fast, you want to start shrinking your eating window. So you don't eat less, you eat less often. So, and when you do that, you end up eating less, but you shrink your eating window. And so you start off maybe like 8 hours, and it doesn't matter what 8 hours. You could eat like, it depends on your work schedule or whatever. You could eat a breakfast and a lunch and then not eat after that. Or you can, not eat breakfast because your cortisol levels are high in the morning, so usually you have some energy and stuff without food. That's what most people do, is they'll eat lunch and then supper. So like say 1 and 6 or 1 and 7, and then you got a 6-hour eating window there. So you can start at 8 hours and try not to snack, or just don't snack. And
in the morning you can wake up and have a black coffee or a tea, but you can't put anything in it.
You can't put it, and then there's if you're trying to get into ketosis, you can have a bulletproof coffee, or if you're trying to drive ketosis, which is putting butter and MCT oil in your coffee. So that's a different strategy. But so just continuing in ketosis, keeping that window 8, then start getting it to 6, and then if you can get down to 4, that's really helpful. And we do that 5 days a week. We fast 1 day a week, and then we feast, where we eat breakfast and eat 3 meals another day a week. So, can you think of any other points?
Nope, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's it. So one other one. You don't want to stay in ketosis for long periods of time. In nature, you would never do that. 10,000 years ago, you wouldn't be in ketosis for 12 months. And in fact, when you stay in any form of metabolism for long periods of time, it's going to start reversing the effect. So even if you stay in ketosis for a long period of time, you won't start burning fat, you'll start storing fat. And so that's when you got to mix it up. So anyway, diet variation's huge. I guess that's your health nibble. That's what to expect from day 5. From here on out, we're going to stop talking about fasting, even though we love to do it, and move on to some other things.
Yep. All right, we will see you tomorrow. No, yes.